You're about to listen to TADPOG, Tyler and Dave Play Old Games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
Hello, Internet, and welcome to another TADPOG podcast. It's a show that happens every week, every single week.
Every goddamn week.
For like 5 years now.
We're fucking not safe for work, by the way.
Yeah, oh yeah. No. Not at all. Not at all. Especially not the classic TADPOG.
Especially not.
Everybody talks about being so raw.
You know what? We honestly
So raw.
get so fucking raw. Like, I mean, do you want to start over before we open this can of worms? Because, like, I mean,
No.
trials of Reddit. I mean, like, we don't get into that stuff anymore. You know what I mean?
I will look for more trials of Reddit and happily read them.
Mixed reviews.
Happily.
Mixed reviews of the trials of Reddit.
Let's see if I make Chandra throw up
Yeah,
again.
that was the line. I feel like we found it, and it was the trials of Reddit.
Show where two old guys play old games.
Turns out people don't like to hear stories about a girl masturbating in a dumpster.
Oh, this is about video games.
Yeah.
No, not at all. It's about
Sometimes.
maggot meat in a vagina.
Yeah. It used to be in classic TADPOG. When's the last time we've talked about maggot meat in a vagina? It's been a really fucking
It's
long
been a while,
time.
yeah.
My friend. And I say that with the utmost respect.
Yeah, not since I had the last annex, which I'm getting ready to start the project on the second annex behind my house.
Making moves.
So, yeah. My parents finally bought a house that has another shop, so he's going to get all his shit out of my garage and go to his garage, so that I will use that for the next, I don't know, I never really named it. It was TADPOG Annex 2, I guess.
We have already had a TADPOG Annex 2. TADPOGs. A TADPOGs on both your families. TADPOG Annex 2 was where I currently stream in my house.
Okay.
TADPOG. No. That's wrong. That was TADPOG Annex 1. We've had a TADPOG Annex 2. That was your old garage.
That was, okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
So this would be TADPOG Annex 3?
I guess, unless we come up with another name
The
for it.
3Nex.
Your garage is really, really big. This could be like TADPOG Compound or something. Like seriously, like if TADPOG Nation like all met us and we drank Kool-Aid in that garage, like that is the place that would happen. Is that one?
It'll be in the front part because it's a 6-car garage. It's like a 2-car garage.
It's very big.
with a 4-car built behind it. It was just like that when I got here.
It's very big.
I didn't strive for that. But the 2-portion part is where I'm going to put everything, and it's double the size of Annex 2.
Which means it is probably 8 times the size of Blanket Fort, which we record in currently.
Yeah.
We're in a very small.
And 16 times TADPOG closets.
Yes, you and I could dock right now if we had our foreskin. We're that close.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah,
Fucking
really.
ruin that. I can't dock with Dave.
Yeah. Let me call the hospital, see if they'll give it back.
So this week, because courtesy of the Retro Game of the Month Club.
Yeah, which you can find on Facebook. Stephen Michael, #1 undisputed Nerdy Thursday fan, runs that group, and he's really cool. He was at TADPOG Prom last year. He seemed like a really cool guy.
He was.
So yeah, the game of the month over there is Rocket Knight Adventures.
Rocket Knight Adventure. Which is touchy territory for us, as we played the Super Nintendo counterpart.
Sparkster.
Did not like it.
But it's like, okay, so yeah, I went back and listened to that episode. That's episode 16 of TADPOG.
That was that time machine.
Weird. Very weird. I took some notes on that episode. Would you like to hear them?
Yes, I would.
Hi, my name is Dave. I'm your bespectacled host, and this is my intro. Until something better comes along. Yeah, I listened to the Sparkster episode. This is probably about 4 weeks into TADPOG.
Man.
First of all, I would like to say I talk incredibly slow. Like really, really slow. This is pretty much how I talk the whole time. And my words seem all like drawn out. And it's
everyone needs to understand the words that I'm saying.
That are coming out of my mouth.
Mouth.
Never touch my stereo. Yeah, so there's that. Also, very subdued, like like a low energy podcast. Like my very last note.
It sounds like we were Delicious Dish, but for video games.
Yes, and it's like that's what it dawned on me. Oh, this is what people were talking about when they said like NPR, like dirty NPR with dick jokes, and I was like, this makes sense now because it is like Delicious Dish. I mean, it's like very low key, low energy. My very last note is, if you listen to us back then and still listen to us now, fucking thank you.
Thanks, Phil.
Yeah, and Exalted Lord Micah Purdue.
And Micah,
because
you're right.
That's how far back Micah goes. We mentioned Micah in that episode.
Oh, damn.
Micah was in on like very early.
Back when I had my Gastromancy Guild posting on Sook Street Post.
Yeah. All right, so here we go. Notes.
That's a weird way for somebody to come on, though. He's going to be the only one who found it through that.
Yeah, potentially. Here are the notes for our Sparkster episode, which features, maybe we should say, you said it's the counterpart to Rocket Knight Adventures. Maybe we should explain why first. Yeah. Why is that?
Well, because Sparkster is the same character from Rocket Knight Adventures, but on the Super Nintendo where Rocket Knight Adventures is the Genesis.
Kind of. Yes, kind of. It's weird. Sparkster is an alternate universe. It's not part of Rocket Knight Adventures canon. There was a Sparkster that came out on the Genesis. It's the sequel to the game we're talking about today. It's a sequel to Rocket Knight Adventures.
Okay.
It's like I think the full name is Sparkster, Rocket Knight Adventures 2. That is canon. But everything that happened on the SNES, Konami just disregards.
Oh, okay. As they should.
Yes, as they should.
As they fucking should.
We did not like that game.
No, man.
Mainly because of the game breaking glitch, which totally makes it so you have to restart the game. And it's a very easy glitch to get because we got it naturally when we were playing it multiple times.
There's that one level I almost don't see how you make it through without getting that glitch.
Bounce Man's level?
Where you're basically, you're bouncing on the big drums or whatever, and you hit that falling animation, and you're bouncing
stuck
up and down forever.
So you told on the Sparkster episode, which we'll have a link in the show notes at tadpog.com, you told Tyler a great story about how you don't like to talk on the phone.
Yeah, it's true. Still don't like it.
I told a great story about how I wanted to catch a squirrel when I was a child. Remember when we were wholesome? Remember when we did a wholesome show?
Man, we were a family-oriented show.
We're E for everyone, where we talk about, I don't like to talk on the phone, and I tried to catch a squirrel once.
Aren't we just nuts? bunch of cards over here.
Look at us flirting on the edge of good taste. Also,
we don't even have kids yet.
Don't take this the wrong way. I thought this was hilarious. I thought this, but don't take this the wrong way, please. I want to preface it.
All right. You sound like your penis is super small. Don't take it the wrong way.
No, it's funnier than that.
Okay.
It's funnier than Beloved Adam's micro penis. At one point, you slip up. You're talking about, you reference Meg as your first wife. And I listened to it and I lost my mind because I was like, oh my God.
You know I'm a Time Lord?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, was I recording with like future Tyler? And you even make a joke about it. So that was a bullet point in my notes. I was like, I definitely need to mention this to Tyler. And I was like, I don't know if I should mention this on the mic or off the mic.
That's funny.
Let's see.
Turns out if you make a joke enough.
Is this? Yeah, no, I was gonna say like, I don't know. Is this like a weird like monkey's paw scenario or something? So here's something interesting.
Melissa, my final wife.
There, settled. We get into game talk in the Sparkster episode in 10 minutes. I noted the time.
Shit.
It's like a 59-minute episode. Back when we were lean, young and lean.
Before the show got its dad bod.
Yeah, right. We're well into dad bod territory now. We just like wallow in it. It's like, how long is this going to be? 2 hours? Fuck it. I don't know.
All right. Sounds good.
No one's complaining.
And they used to.
Yet. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because I remember us trying to, like, I remember us getting feedback that the episodes are too long. And it's probably because they were boring. Because like several after listening to Sparkster episode 16 of TADPOG, I was like, man, are we done yet?
What was Illusion of Gaia was like the longest one for a long time. And I remember somebody telling their friend about it and then being like, I don't have time to listen to an 80-minute podcast.
Yes, I think that was one of Phil's friends. Who may be a long-time listener at this point. If so,
probably not.
If so, thank you. If not, we talk about Japanese possums versus American possums. So there's like, I mean, that's totally something that we would still do.
Yeah.
For the record, Japanese possums are way cuter. American possums are like
see how they couldn't be.
absolute like out of a D&D monster manual. I fucking hate possums.
Yeah, man.
Hate them. Like they are the worst, dude. Like when I am taking Clementine out and I see like glowing eyes or something from the little canal that goes back behind my house, I'm like, that's a fucking possum. I'm sure of it, and I'm gonna get the fuck out of here because I don't want to see its nasty white face with all its like shark teeth popping out of its fucking mouth. No. Not
it's
having
like
it.
Half-skinned cat, half muff. It's like, no.
But what's crazy is here I'm getting back into the difference between American and Japanese possums. The only thing that's different is like Japanese possums have slightly larger ears and their faces aren't goddamn ghostly white. Like I swear, I'm looking at a possum and it's like I'm staring at like a specter or something. Damn near translucent. We shit on Sparkster for the SNES. We do talk about that game, Lock and Glitch. We do go at length. This is a redeeming quality of that episode if anyone wants to check it out. We do go at length talking about the princess's vagina. And we talk about the main enemy in the game probably having a vagina, but going through gender reassignment and getting a penis. Or the other way around.
Okay. Since we weren't quite woke.
No,
we were still asleep.
No, we were definitely we weren't woke, but we were still. I feel like. We were like Andrew Dice Clay, like in there, like what? Yeah,
hickory dickory dock.
Right. Yeah. No, I would say that we were probably.
Where is this bitch's cock?
We were probably about a C. Like if it were like a Game Pro rating on our wokeness, it'd be like the dude who's got his fist up next to his cheek. It looks like he's taking a nap. That's where we'd be. We weren't like the atomic warhead guy.
Oh yeah,
like
all right.
we still aren't, but we're probably like one notch down from that. Just the dude smiling.
I'm glad you listened to that. That's very good.
I had to because I was like. I had to. It was one of those where it's like, I need to revisit this. And something that I like to do in preparation for a show is I like to, and I flip-flop on this. So tell me if you think I'm doing something wrong, because maybe I am. But like...
You're not.
Yeah, thank you. I don't go into these blind. Like whenever we record, I used to do that. But now what I do is I do a lot more research than I used to do. Like way more research. And that involves like listening to other podcasts, watching YouTube videos, reviews, reading reviews, old reviews, and
before we would just play it. I mean,
together.
For a while we'd play it together and basically beat everyone.
It's wild. We don't do that anymore.
Nope.
Things have changed significantly. But I think that's fine. I do honestly think that like listening to the Sparkster episode, there is a lot of conversation like about the game. It feels more like a conversation and less like a book report with dick jokes, which is pretty much what we do now. I feel like I'm fine with it. I mean, I think that's we each
have to play it separately and get our own perspective and then come and talk about each of our things.
Yes, exactly. When I was listening to that Sparkster episode, there are a lot of things where it's like, we thought this. And like one of us will say that as opposed to I thought this, and then you will say, well, I thought this, So it's kind of like, we were more like Venom then.
Okay, good. I like it.
And that's the only other thing that I wanted to mention that we talk about on Sparkster, and I wanted to save it for last because it carries over into Rocket Knight Adventures, is we talk about Sparkster's blade of shame, which he uses to cut the armor off of his enemies, leaving them naked and embarrassed. So instead of killing them, he embarrasses them and they fall off screen.
Okay.
And that still happens in Rocket Knight Adventures.
Well, to derail us for a little bit.
Yeah, please, let's derail.
I'm your bearded host, Tyler.
What's up, man?
And I sent you a message after something I witnessed at the dollar store.
I thought we were going to talk about that.
Oh, no, we got to talk about it. We got to talk about it.
Isn't that going to, like, influence the trial?
Maybe. We'll see. But I was on my way with Kenna to go meet Melissa's dad with the other girls, but I had like 10 minutes. I was like, I'm going to stop. I'm going to get a Red Bull, get her some candy, and, then we'll go. So like, dollar store is pretty packed out, unusually packed. So I have to park a ways away. And yeah. I mean, it's not a big parking lot, but I don't get to park right.
But still, it's
normally
cool.
I always park right at the door.
At a Dollar General? Were they having an event or something, like a fall festival or something?
I guess I just happened to go at a time where everybody was like, no, we want cheap shit.
Yeah.
So, was there a knock at that door?
I
hope not.
I don't know.
But so I park almost as far away as you can. I drive by a woman standing in the middle of the parking lot. I can't hear her because my windows are rolled up or whatever.
Is she saying something, though? You can see her moving her mouth kind of deal?
So as soon as I park and open my door, that's when I hear, I don't care who said it. Come here and say it to my face.
Oh,
Come back. Answer for it.
World star.
She's like, who called me rude? Who did it? I don't. And she's like looking around, looking at the cars. Come on. Get it. Come out here and say it again.
So like someone...
Oh, that's what I thought. No one's got the balls, do they? And I'm just like holding Kenna's hand. We walk by her into the store. Yet no one got the balls to say anything. I bet you do. That's the kind of person you are. Fine. She walks back into the store. Oh, no one out there's gonna say anything. No, ain't no one out there got the BALLS to come up to me.
She brought it into the store?
Brought it back into the store.
So it happened in the store. She went outside, I guess, to see if the person who said it...
She didn't hear whoever walked by and said, that lady's rude.
Oh, man.
So tried to find them. Went back into the store. Was angry that she didn't find them. So, like, she's still, like, talking loudly as I'm walking, like, taking we go back. I grab...
And what is this, a little girl?
What? You got any balls, little girl? What are you going to say? So I grabbed, like, Melissa loves Day of the Dead stuff. So they had, like, $1, like, little skull. I grabbed that.
Candy skulls and
got a Red Bull. Kenna wanted a little My Little Pony blind bag. So like, okay, yeah, that's fine. We'll get that. And we get in line. Line is really long.
You're very nice to your child.
Well, I only get to see her half the week.
I get it.
When she asked for it, I was like, oh, okay,
I get
that's
it.
fine.
No, I do.
$3. As long as you ask for $3 things,
I
we're
get it.
good.
I get it. That wasn't me judging you. That was just me like recognizing, oh, Tyler loves his child more than I do. Because when Henry asks for stuff, I'll be like, we'll see about your birthday, buddy. Daddy's broke.
So I get in line and I hear that lady still talking. And I see she walks around the line back toward the front, and she says something about, I don't know who I was rude. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to get my business done. And but thank you for carrying on. Looking at the cashier.
Can you describe this woman? I'm sorry to interrupt. I need a visual. Like, did she look like she belonged in a Ray Stevens music video?
She looked like she belonged in the dollar store.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Heavy set, white tank top, sort of maxed out.
Maxed out.
Like it was.
Like we're at the limit?
It was hanging on by the threads.
I gotcha. That was a woke way of saying it.
Yep. Very, very short shorts, glasses, like long blonde hair and a ponytail. And she walks around to the front of the line, and she what did she say? She's like, well, thank you for keeping it together then, to the cashier. I mean, she said it in sort of you could tell it was sarcastic.
To which point the cashier said, ma'am, it was me who called you rude.
And I feel like somebody in line said, well, you were the one mouthing, oh. And I just hear she starts up all over again.
Man,
about what's going on.
Only you had been there 5 minutes earlier. Like, seriously. This is a great story, but you would have maybe died if you had been there. Because I know how you are when people get upset. You get right in there and try to resolve it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Like everybody.
I'm like in that show, that What Would You Do? I inject myself into every situation.
I don't get the people on that show. I seriously don't. My parents love that What Would You Do show. Mm-hmm. And it's like, dude, like how much footage do they have to collect to get like footage of 3 people like doing something? You know what I mean? Because it's like, if I'm in those situations, my instinct is always mind my own fucking business, get on with my day.
Guns are legal.
Yeah, right.
I'm good.
Well, not only that, but it's like, don't waste my time on this shit. Mm-hmm. It's like, this is not my problem, and it's not my job to solve this.
Mm-hmm. But then she says something, somebody mouths up to her, so she argues with someone in line. Eventually it stops.
That person had balls.
And then she keeps, but the line is so long because the lady, the crazy lady is with another lady who has just so much shit.
Is she embarrassed? The person that she was with?
No, she was arguing with the cashier actively.
They're
as
a
the
team.
first in line.
The Robin to her Batman.
Because she had bought all sorts of like the discount stuff, and then she had tried to apply all of it. I mean, there was a lot. She had like 2 carts full of shit. Like
wow.
Yeah. And she had tried to use, I heard them arguing about the Dollar General app has like coupons and stuff in it. So she had done that to get a further discount, but it wasn't as much of a discount as she thought she was going to get. So she argues with the cashier, and the cashier's just like, I'm sorry, ma'am. This is what the app does. I don't have any control over the app. I'm sorry. And like, so she makes her call her manager on the phone, and she's chewing out her manager that like she just wants her discount. She wants her stuff. And then the crazy lady with her is just like, oh, we want to hurt your feelings, darling.
Oh my God.
Like, I felt the cashier, she kept her shit together.
Yeah.
So I went
on the outside.
On the outside,
I'm sure on the inside,
and
like she's being destroyed.
Oh yeah,
I've been there before.
And she had to be like 19, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't. I'm sure it happens more at Dollar General than it did at Office Depot when I worked there in Murray. But I mean, like there are like people like that, customers.
I mean that Dollar General got held up like 3 or 4 months ago. So
did it really?
Yeah.
It got held up. The one here.
Yep.
That's close to your house.
Yeah.
Really, it got held up.
Yep.
Good Lord. Is it because they thought Dave Style Chicken was there and they got upset?
We heard. Where is it?
Shirts.tadpog.com.
I would be satisfied with a shirt. Just give me a shirt. You don't even have shirts?
Have I expressed on this show that Amazon did not allow us at first to put the Dave Style Chicken shirt on the site?
For months they fought it.
Because I used the words Dollar General in the description. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
So fucking dumb. But I waited in line the 10 minutes I had. The line did not budge.
So you stole all that stuff.
So I just like, can I here, you put this in your shirt and we're going to walk out.
Someone might call you rude, but just keep on going.
Then you say, then you look at that person, you say, you don't have the balls, and we walk out.
Spell it out. You don't have the B-A-L-L-S. Motherfucker.
I tell Kenna, like, I'm sorry, we have to go. I'm sorry, we can't get your blind bag. Oh, okay.
Oh, that's good.
So she was fine. Get in the car, we leave. I come back later that night.
Woman is still there.
Well, it was just me, and it finally opened up because I had to get like bread milk or whatever for the next morning.
Bread and milk.
Gotta. And then, so I went to the line, the same cashier from earlier at the end of her shift. And I was like, so I was here earlier for that lady, and she just...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she wanted like $5 more off, and if the app, that app doesn't give it to her, I can't do anything about that.
Sure.
Neither can my manager or the district manager. Just like if it doesn't work, and I was like, I'm impressed you were able to keep it together. She's like, thank you. It was very difficult. So I gave her my card and offered her a job.
Oh, really?
For keeping it together.
That's awesome.
So
have you heard back from her?
I have not. Mm-hmm. So
maybe she secretly likes to be yelled at.
Yeah.
In which case you should have told her, if you like getting yelled at, I will yell at you. It's fine.
How about sick people like really, really unhappy to yell at you? How about some of that?
Yeah. Oh, cool.
But yeah, that's the dollar store.
So
dollar store drama.
The real question is, when you went back, did you get that My Little Pony blind bag?
I did not.
I wouldn't have either.
If Kenna's not with me, she's not thinking about it. So.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, that is what Dave calls off the hook. We're good.
Yep.
We're good to go.
Rocket League Adventure, Rocket Knight Adventure.
I am not ready to talk about Rocket League, a game I've thought about buying multiple times, but never have because I know I'll be awful at it, and everyone else in the world is good at it.
Well, it's a game I know it exists, and I will never buy it, and I will never play it.
Why not, dog? It combines all the things you like in a video game.
Yeah.
Head-to-head competitive play, driving, and soccer. Now, I know you. You like all three of those things.
Oh, my God.
What do you like getting yelled at by people that you don't know online? Well, wait, there's more. You could stream it as well and get it from both ends.
Oh, perfect. Love it. We should do that.
I'm sorry. Did you ask me a question?
Did you hear that, Dave?
I couldn't because I was just talking over everything.
That's okay. I didn't hear it either. It passed by.
Yeah. Oh, I think it was the Dave reads some Wikipedia trade.
Oh.
That's called
Well, it's going.
Yeah. I guess the show's over then. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what to do. Oh, wait, it's the Doppler effect. I hear it. It's actually coming.
Oh, okay. There you go.
which ushers in a segment and a really cool segue we like to call Dave Reads from Wikipedia. Also, I want to point out that when we were talking about the Retro Video Game of the Month Club, Tadpogladite Chris Murray mentioned that he was the one who nominated this game. So I don't want to spoil anything, but like, thank you, Chris, because I really like this game. Mm-hmm. I did. But first, here's what Wikipedia has to say, I guess. I like doing things out of order. I'm rude, dog.
No. Yeah.
I'm literally rude, dog. I'm a cartoon.
You got your sunglasses on that are different shapes. Yes. And yeah.
I'm a D plus cartoon character come to life. I almost called me a D plus podcast, which is also probably accurate. Okay. Rocket Knight Adventures. I would like to go ahead and say that this article needs additional citations for verification. So if anybody out there listening is a Rocket Knight Adventures expert, Wikipedia needs you. Mm-hmm. Okay, guys, Rocket Knight Adventures, or as it's known in Japan, Raketo Naito Abodanchaizo, is a 1993 side-scrolling platforming video game developed and published by Konami for the Sega Genesis. It came out in North America on August 5th, 1993, and came out in Japan a day later, weirdly. And it also came out in Europe in 1993. It was designed by Nobuya Nakazato, who designed several titles in the Contra series, the Alien Wars, Hardcore, and Shattered Soldier. I've never played Shattered Soldier. The protagonist is Sparkster, a possum knight who fights an army of robots and pigs. That's right, pigs, many of whom are piloting various mechanical vehicles. Sparkster is armed with a sword that can project energy over a short distance and a rocket pack that allows him to fly. Tyler.
Yes, Dave.
Were you familiar with this game before? I mean, I know kind of sort of because of Sparkster, right?
I knew it existed because of Sparkster. Okay. I have never played it. I had never seen it.
I had never seen it either.
Unfamiliar with it.
But I was never looking for Genesis games when I was renting them, you know? Yeah. So maybe that's why I missed it, or maybe it just wasn't around at our rental stores.
I'd never heard of Sparkster before we played it. Like this character completely was not on my radar.
And I know Ramon did, because Ramon mentioned
Ramon's all about it.
Old-fashioned Ramon when we were talking about Sparkster. I remember him mentioning it. And I'm kind of curious if he actually played Sparkster or Rocket Knight Adventures, because one of those games is I feel like a good game.
One of those things is not like the other.
Very true.
Yeah, I hated Sparkster, and I like this game all right. I don't love it. I don't think it's amazing.
Yeah.
But it was a fun little game.
Yeah, I don't love it either.
I appreciate it.
It is, I think, it's a more fun experience than Sparkster. I think it looks better than Sparkster. I mean, they're both 16-bit games.
I think it does. Look, Sparkster suffers from that too large sprite on a platformer that I fucking hate. Mm-hmm. And unless he's going fast, he's going too slow.
Right.
And the platforming was sluggish, and it was vibrant and pretty, but it just wasn't. I prefer the look of this.
I do too.
Far more. I mean, I feel like your sprite's a little big, but it's much more manageable. The platforming is much more smooth. I mean, this overall, this is a solid game where Sparkster was horseshit.
Yeah, at some point we actually wonder why Sparkster is on IGN's list.
Yeah, it was at the bottom, and Tyler and Dave fail at math. I think Sparkster was, at least for me, was very bottom.
I thought that it looked really good. I thought everything was bright. The sprite work I thought was amazing. They get a whole lot of animation frames in, like each movement, which I do think kind of makes it feel a little sluggish. Like it's not. The platforming bits in this game are not pixel perfect, which some might say is a good thing. Mm-hmm. I like it when it's pixel perfect, because I don't like it when there's that gray area of like, am I going to make this jump or not? I like to know. Like, my baseline for all platformers is Super Mario Brothers. Like that, not Super Mario World, it's Super Mario Brothers. Like that is my baseline for platformers. That's like the litmus test, you know? Like when I compare a platformer, when I look at a platform, I'm like, all right, what is it? Like, I'm instantly comparing it to Super Mario Brothers. Mm-hmm. And it's like in Super Mario Brothers, it's like when you make a jump, you know, like whether or not you made that jump or not. But like in Rocket Knight Adventures, what I ran into occasionally is the game would almost fudge it where it's like it almost I don't really know anything about the development of this game, but this is what it felt like to me. It felt like the sprites were originally smaller or something, because like there are several jumps where it's like I'll make the jump and it's like my feet won't land on the platform, but a part of my body will, like Sparkster's knees or something, and then he'll kind of get shunted onto that platform. And I'm always thankful. You know, I'm always like, oh, thank God, because I thought that jump was impossible to make. Yeah. And it probably was. That's probably why it's fudged a little bit.
Okay.
So as far as like platforming goes, like I feel like it's a little more ambiguous than like Super Mario Brothers. There are also side-scrolling shooting segments of the game, which they do in Sparkster as well for the SNES, but I think it's handled better in this game as well.
With you.
And it feels like it's nice because they're always like these side-scrolling segments always make sense. Like it always seems like there's a reason why we're going, like there's a narrative reason why we're going into the side-scrolling.
And I like the way he looks. Like he's got this, you know, because you get the feeling by looking at him, okay, he is going very fast. He has his goggles on. It does. You feel speed when you're watching it.
That sprite animation, like he jitters, like as he's flying through the air, like his sprite jitters, and it's like it's a nice little touch where it's like it does feel like he's like getting drag or something from like the air friction or whatever.
Yeah, it's like he's Rocket Man.
Yeah.
So this game, playing this game, it reminded me of sort of a fusion of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes.
And Joe and Mac.
Ooh, I didn't even think about Joe and why Joe and Mac?
Just because the jumping and the swing, like Joe and Mac with their club and with like the throwing the tomahawks reminded me of Rocket Knight with his sword and his distance, the swirling. His projectile.
Yeah, because he's got a sword, which you can hit enemies with, but it also kind of works like in The Legend of Zelda when Link's got full hearts and a phantom sword shoots out. It kind of works like that, but imagine it not top down. It's very much a left to right side scroll.
Because I feel like he controls, if he's not going fast like Sonic, he controls like Joe and Mac, and then sprinkle on a little bit of Gunstar Heroes over the top.
Dude. Okay, I'm really glad you brought up Gunstar Heroes, because like you're thinking Gunstar Heroes, I'm guessing because of like all the boss fights and stuff. Man. This game, Rocket Knight Adventures, has some fucking awesome bosses.
I agree.
Really, really cool. And there are a lot of them too. Like each stage will have like multiple mid bosses, or I guess technically they're not mid bosses because that would only be one boss, but they have many mini bosses. And
they do. This game was a lot longer than I anticipated it to be.
Yeah, because it's
much longer.
Me too. There's 7 stages, and I was like, this is going to be a breeze. Turns out that the game is really fucking hard, and there's a lot of content in each stage. I did not expect this game to be nearly as difficult as it was.
No, I didn't make it all that far. So
I did finish it, but full disclaimer, I switched to the Japanese version because the Japanese version is easier. You know that phenomena we talked about where it's like I remember being in middle school and like everyone talking about how the games in Japan were harder. And I do think that there is some merit to that. Like I think the RPGs in Japan, like, because it's like all the like the Final Fantasy games and stuff like that being dumbed down for North American releases. And it's like I get that, but it's like
7 having like the arrows on the exits and shit like that.
Right, exactly. So like that's the stuff that always stuck with me. But what I didn't realize was, and we've mentioned this in a previous episode, but because game rentals were illegal in Japan, they didn't have to artificially inflate the difficulty of platforming games. Games that can be beaten, like Rocket Knight Adventures, if you had infinite lives and infinite continues, you could probably get to the game your first time playing it in one sitting. But because you could rent games legally in the United States, when they would release the same game over here, they would make it more difficult. And they do that in Rocket Knight Adventures by reducing the number of lives you have and reducing the number of continues that you have in the game. So what that means is what happened to me specifically is I would play the game, get to a boss, lose all of my lives trying to figure out how to beat the boss, and then I'd have to start the game over. and play to that boss again, beat that boss, get to another boss, lose all my lives on that boss, go back to the beginning of the game, like that kind of deal. So I switched to the Japanese version because I read that it had more lives and more continues, and that is what I beat the game on because I wanted to see all the content.
Okay.
I want to go back and I want to beat the North American version just so that I could say that I did it. But yeah, man, I didn't want to save state. I wanted to it's a really weird thing.
It's a hangout we do not share.
Yeah, I know. And it's like
talking to Chris Vaughn, put me in a save state button.
Right.
Please.
Yes. Yeah, meanwhile, I'm like, is there any way that we can take save states out of this completely so that I can get all my retro achievements on retroachievements.org? Because that's part of it, man. I want to unlock those on hard mode.
Yep.
That's a great site, by the way. Although some of the achievements, they're all like user submitted. So like some games have wonderful achievements and other games have bad ones. And what I've discovered is there are like some really funny things will happen where it's like if I am just let the game sit and watch the demo mode, it will unlock achievements. Like for instance, like if in the demo mode, the AI or the recorded player, whatever, beats a boss, I'll get an achievement for beating that boss. So yeah, it's a nice little loophole.
That's pretty. Man, it's pretty clever. It's pretty clever.
So, but anyway, I would love to go back and beat this game legit because I can't say I beat it legit. I guess I could in Japan. I don't know how I would say it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna go there? We're gonna go back to the GamePro guy with his face on his fist. We gotta stay. We gotta stay the fourth guy.
Because let's see. Because I think because the levels, I feel like they had their own individual levels, but I think that the boss fights those are the big iconic things.
Yes.
And you fight. I mean, it reminded me of Angry Birds in the sense
I know. Thank you.
Because it's just you're just fighting a pig army.
Pigs. It's just a pig army. Yeah, I know.
I thought they were goblins at first.
Yeah.
But then no, like they're pigs.
Do you have a favorite pig? You're looking at your notes. Did you write something on there about favorite pigs? You made a pig quiz, didn't you?
The pig captain who lobs bombs at you.
Oh, favorite pig in the game. Yeah. I just meant in general, like a favorite pig, like Wilbur or
just in real life. Who's your favorite pig?
Yeah, who's your favorite pig?
Orson.
Porky. Oh, Orson. Oh, yeah. From U.S. Acres.
There you go.
Nice. Okay, cool. Acceptable answer. Survey says. Fucking number 2 answer.
All right.
It's a fucking number 2 answer, Orson. So your favorite pig in the game was the bomb throwing pig?
Yeah, it was humorous because you just walk up. Oh, shit's happening! All right, there's like the captain of this big fucking pig ship, and he's across the laser and he's just throwing bombs at me. Okay, well, hit him back like Link versus Ganon in Ocarina of Time. Just gonna play volleyball for a little while.
Yep.
Okay, he's gone. Oh. Okay, that's a bunch of mecha pigs and a whole bunch of shit. Okay.
That whole airship level that you fight the captain pig, that one you're talking about, the bomb throwing pig, totally reminded me of Air Fortress Zone from Sonic. What was that, Sonic 2 or 3? I can't remember. My Sonic's kind of blur together because he's so fast.
So yeah, he better.
But it kind of reminded me of that.
Robotnik, but still, he's pretty fast.
Yeah, it's true. That's like Superman versus the Flash on land speed. It's Sonic and Robotnik.
Yeah.
But it reminded me of that whole hanging on the propellers kind of thing because there's a bit of that on that airship level where when you're on top of the airship, you're dealing with wind physics, you know, like the wind blowing you back and stuff like that. Yeah, that was a really flamboyant captain. That was like the Jack Sparrow of pig captains.
And it's a very Gunstar Heroes kind of boss whenever he summons Mecha Captain for you to fight.
Yep.
But there was one of the final bosses reminded me so fucking much of Gunstar Heroes.
Which one?
It's like the spaceship where you destroy the individual parts and then it transforms into a mech.
Yep.
And it's waving its arms around everywhere as it jumps across the screen. That was extremely Gunstar.
That is a hard ass boss. That is a really hard boss.
Because you can only hit it once when it's not flailing its limbs around.
Yeah, okay, so that's a really cool boss fight because, and this game reminds me of a bunch of different games too. Gunstar Heroes was definitely on that list, and it's because of the bosses. Like, bosses have multiple forms, And a lot of the bosses are unique, where they'll have a gimmick.
They move strangely as compared to like how you or anything else moves.
Exactly. So it reminded me, in that regard, it reminded me of Gunstar Heroes. It also reminded me of Earthworm Jim, because Earthworm Jim is a game that has it's a platformer that has a lot of variety to it. In Earthworm Jim, I feel like you're constantly doing different stuff. Like each level kind of has its own like thing. And I'm specifically thinking about in Rocket Knight Adventures, there is a part in the game where you are controlling a moving elevator. It's like it's a platform that is moving from left to right, and there's an up switch and a down switch, and you hit either switch with your sword in order to make that platform elevate, or the opposite of elevate, descend.
De-elevate.
De-elevate, yes. So, but you have to do it while it's moving. It's moving from left to right by itself automatically. So it reminded me of that level in Earthworm Jim where you're in that underwater maze with the bubble, where you're controlling that bubble submarine.
Part of the game.
Oh man, I will defend. I've heard Earthworm Jim get a lot of hate recently. Earthworm Jim and Donkey Kong Country seems to be like the two games that I love that people are shitting on recently.
I love both of those games. That just was my least favorite part of Earthworm Jim.
Oh man, Earthworm Jim, dude, that is like, I love that game so much. But it reminded me of Earthworm Jim not only because of that, but because Earthworm Jim also has a lot of bosses that are different. Like, for example, that level where it's all an underground maze, the boss is a fish that he just eats. I mean, so it does stuff like that too, and I like that. I think that's fun. And then, of course, obviously, it reminded me of Sonic. Not only in like some of the cutscenes in the game, but also it sounds like a Sonic game. When Sparkster dies, he gives off this like synth whine noise that totally sounds like Sonic when he dies. It's just like a different pitch, And
because the soundtrack, I didn't like the music very much in this game.
I love the music,
thought it was I thought it was very subpar, sort of out of place.
Oh,
I did not enjoy this.
Some of the music I did think was out of place because it's
like when you're against the final boss, like that didn't seem very like epic, intense, or anything like I would expect it to. It was just still kind of lighthearted, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, all the music does kind of have this lighthearted feel to it. It's pretty. I don't think there's a sinister track on the soundtrack, but I mean, as far as a game like utilizing the Sega sound chip, like I mean, the synth chip I think they did a really good job because I thought the music sounded good. At no point did I feel like it was grating, like Sonic Spinball or X-Men. I mean, as I think the worst offenders. Sonic Spinball is like it's the worst. I thought it was really well done, and I thought the music, for the most part, I mean, I liked it. I like the opening theme a lot. It's very like adventurous sounding. It fits, I think. I know one of the composers that worked on it is the composer for Symphony of the Night.
Okay.
So there were multiple composers for the game. It wasn't just her, but I know she had at least a track in there. I wish I knew which one it was.
Yeah. What else did I have? Probably my least favorite level of the game, though, was the mobile platform walking over lava.
Dude, I loved that.
See, I just felt so... When I can just charge up and go fast, but I'm just kind of held to this. It was the closest thing to like an escort mission, I felt like, because it was just on this thing, walking across, okay, gotta jump off, wait for it to walk through.
Maybe we're talking about different levels. The level that I loved is the level where lava is rising and then it descends. How do you like that? Remembering things. And then it rises and it's kind of like a rhythm thing. And what you have to do at some point, and it reminded me of like Konami totally took this and put it in Castlevania Bloodlines. Because it's a part very similar to the castle in Bloodlines. You know that moment where I thought in Bloodlines that it glitched and it's like half the screen is like, you're essentially split in half.
Yeah.
And you have to like rely on the reflection and stuff. That's what you have to do in Rocket Knight Adventures. There becomes a point where you cannot see the platforms you're supposed to jump on, and you're like, what the fuck do I do? And then the lava rises up, and you can see the reflection of the platform and the lava below.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, I'm just talking about like it was like a walking robot that would walk through the lava that you had to stand on.
The robot chocobo.
Yes.
Yeah, the robot chocobo.
That I did not like.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, take it or leave it. Yeah, but I agree. I mean, because what I did was I would spend less time on the robot chocobo. I'd just be like, because there's spikes above, and it's like, I'm not even fucking with this shit. Like, I know at some point I'm not going to be able to safely traverse through these spikes, so I'll just walk.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'll hop on this motherfucker as soon as he goes in lava, and as soon as he's on the ground, I'm hopping off.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with popping off.
Oh, he's popping off.
So the bomb throwing pig was your favorite boss?
Mm-hmm. Or when you play Rock'em Sock'em Robots with the Blackguard. Because if you're a Rocket Knight Paladin, you also find Rocket Knight Blackguard that you go up against.
Do you know his name?
No.
I made this joke in Sparkster. I'm going to make it again and hopefully better. Because when I listened to it, I cringed, which I'm sure in 5 years when I listen to this, I'm also going to cringe. Henry will be sitting in my lap. I'll be like, here, 7-year-old son, sit on my lap. Let's listen to our podcast. The Dark Knight's name is Axel Gear.
Oh.
You see what I did there?
Yeah.
Yeah, Metal Gear reference. Yeah. A game I've never played. So
Same here.
We're the worst.
Yep. We're going to have to do that now.
Good luck. You can. Well, that could be a TADPOG.
Okay.
You could tell me how awesome Metal Gear was. That is like, Metal Gear to me is like Star Wars to you.
Okay.
It is one of those where it's like, there is no possible way. There is no way I'm going to play Metal Gear Solid and be like, this lives up to my expectations.
Yeah.
Because it's like, that game is built up and built up and built up. There becomes a point where you can't do it.
I remember Shake telling me about about Metal Gear Solid. Just you choke them and the controller vibrates like strongly, and then slowly starts slowing down as they die. It's amazing.
That is a nice touch. I mean, that's nice. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's not one of those things that's going to impress me in 2018. You know. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. That's one of those where it's like, I don't want to play Metal Gear Solid because I am convinced that it will be underwhelming to me. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I need to, and we will definitely hear opinions.
Really?
So
I feel like that was one of our big missing things in that video gamer profile quiz. Like, oh no, never played any of these Metal Gear games.
Huge gap for me. Mm-hmm. Like seriously, that is one that like
that and Halo.
Yeah, I never played Halo either. Mm-hmm. Oh boy, I'm digging that hole deeper and admitting these things. But I mean, whatever.
I didn't have an Xbox until way down the line.
Same. I never had an Xbox, not an original Xbox. Because I mean, at the time I was PC gaming, and I felt like I needed my PC and I needed my PlayStation 2, and that's like all I needed.
Yep.
But I will say this: one of the things that I do enjoy about this show is that I do get to play games that I've never played before. And
that's very true. Games that I never would have played.
Yeah, totally. It's like great, and I find great games that way. Like Rocket Knight Adventures is probably a game I never would have played.
Mm-hmm. That's definitely one I never would have played.
Especially after playing Sparkster. Even though...
It's very much not one I would have played.
Even though people had always told me Rocket Knight Adventures is much better than Sparkster for the SNES. They were right. Oh, this game also reminds me of, I lost my train of thought earlier. It reminds me of Bucky O'Hare for the NES.
Okay.
Specifically because there is a boss in this game, in Rocket Knight Adventures, that I feel like they got the idea to do from Bucky O'Hare, which they released on the NES, which I guess was I don't remember the year. I think it was a later release. But there's a gunship in Bucky O'Hare. There's a toad gunship or frog gunship. Can't remember if they're toads or frogs. But I recognize there's a difference. I got to stay woke. And there is like several cannons. It's a giant airship in space, and it's essentially you have to fly around it as it moves and destroy all the cannons on it.
Yeah.
And that's very similar to that boss at the end of stage 6, I think it is. Yeah. The one that you were talking about that turns into a mech in space. It grows arms and legs, and it's very difficult to kill. That doesn't happen in Bucky O'Hare, but as I was playing it, I was like, this reminds me a lot of that gunship in Bucky O'Hare.
Because here's the boss gauntlet that I wrote down.
Okay.
So you've got the pig mech.
Pig mech.
The very first one. Then the pig centipede.
Oh, yes. The pig centipede. Mm-hmm.
That reminded me somewhat of like Legend of Zelda almost, like this giant centipede that bursts through the walls.
Do you mind? Do you mind if I blow your mind?
Blow it.
Are you prepared?
Oh yeah.
Actually, because I played the Japanese version, I realized that is a spider. That is a giant spider. For whatever reason,
Thank you for sneaking in the dork tone.
You're welcome. My pleasure. For whatever reason, in the SNES, or I'm sorry, in the North American version, they do not show you in the first level the castle in the background being attacked by a giant spider. Why would they? That's such a nice touch. I don't know why they would remove that from the North American version, but it is gone. Instead, what you see in the background in the North American version is the airship. Flying.
Okay.
Because otherwise you'd have no idea of knowing that second boss
I would never have thought it was a spider.
is a spider.
Yep.
But those things that you might think is its tail smashing through the walls as you fight them, that are actually spider legs.
Oh, okay.
There you go. You're welcome. You didn't say thank you, but I said you're welcome anyway.
Thank you, David.
So rude. And
What?
Yeah, I have the BALLZ to tell you that.
Let's see. Then there's like the pig clown mech. It looks like there's just a giant piggy clown just swinging his arms around that you have to jump straight up in between his arms that sort of clap together and strike upward.
All right. I don't remember that one, but...
And there's a pig train.
Yes.
The pig train on 2 different levels.
Yes. I'm so glad you mentioned the pig train boss because I think it's time that I point out this is a train level in a Konami game. It's been a long time.
It has.
The only reason I remembered that is because I listened to the Sparkster episode where I said the same damn thing.
Let's see. Then there's the pig crab, and you go
Dude.
you go into the waterfall, like you fade into the background, go into the water level.
I love it, man. It's a giant crab mech that's being controlled by a pig in the glass cockpit. That's one of my favorite bosses just by design. Like I think the design on that is wonderful. All of these really are. Like, you can tell that they cared about the bosses. The bosses were not just a thing that they put at the end of a level. Like, it almost feels like the game revolves around the bosses that you're going to fight. And I think that's a really, really cool approach.
That's a good way to do things. Then there's the pig, the pig lava fish.
Yes, this is where I struggled, dude. Like this giant fish boss that lives in lava is where I really hit a wall.
And it looks like in Super Mario World when you're in lava, when you see the big lava T-Rexes pop up.
I believe that is called a blarg, Tyler.
A blarg. But there's like this little white skull-looking thing that pops up first and looks around. Then when you get close, the blarg comes up.
Yes.
But the fish looks like that first little thing that pops up and looks around.
Yeah, you're right. It does look like a little periscope, doesn't it? Except it's enormous.
It's enormous.
It takes up like a third of the screen. And a good portion of that is, and this ties into what I was saying earlier, but it's not pixel perfect. The platforming isn't pixel perfect because like you have to, at certain points, make like some crazy jumps. Like as you're fighting this fish, which you can't injure. You can't injure the fish. You have to wait until the fish opens its mouth, sprays lava out of it, and then a samurai pig jumps out of it. Like straight up jumps out of it for no reason, just exposing himself to damage.
A piggery.
Yeah, a piggery, totally. And then you hit the pig, and you got to hit that motherfucker like 4 times. But it's like in between that, like the fish submerges and the platforms you're standing on also submerge. So there's nothing but lava. And what you have to do is make these jumps on these really fast moving tiny platforms that are whipping through. And that's where it's like moments like that where it's like, oh, thank God this isn't like Super Mario Brothers or like I would be dying more than I'm dying right now. Let's
see. And then there's the pig captain. And then there's a pig, just like a flying head, because you're hanging off the airship on ropes, and like this flying pig head with little bitty wings flies around.
As you're hanging from your tail, like possums do, hanging upside down.
And then there's the pig mecha captain that you have to fight. And then that's when you do the mecha Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Which is awesome, dude, because like...
I did not expect it.
I didn't expect it, and my favorite thing about it is the mechs that you hop in are really enormous. They're really big, and it's like the segment that starts that boss fight is Axel Gear jumps into a mech and fucking chases you while you have to like navigate with your jetpack through a maze. And it's like, he chases you fast, dude. Like, I mean, like there are several moments where it's like, I made a mistake and he is on me and like just crushing me. And when I say the mech suit is huge, it is like taller than the screen is. So it's like, I mean,
you're getting it like waist up.
Yes, much, much taller. And that's another boss that reminded me. It's just its size reminded me of Gunstar Heroes. And then like once you get to the end of that maze, you hop into your own pig mech, which totally 100% looks like a robot Bebop, like 100%, because its eyes are, he has that like visor over the mech has that visor over its eyes. 100% looks like Bebop. I loved it. And then you do this like really off the wall boss fight where it's like nothing else in the game, which because it's nothing else in the game, I wish they would have made it easier, because that boss fight is really hard. Yeah. Because you are just swinging your flail arms at each other.
Yeah, who flails the best.
Yeah, exactly.
And then after that is the pig spaceship, and then the sort of the mecha transformation spaceship we talked about, where it's just all over the place. And then the pig king, the mecha pig king.
Yes.
Who's like this big gold, and you knock him to pieces and he reassembles.
But I think it's really cool because the game shows you what he actually is. Because like I think it's really neat, because at no point in the game until you fight this boss, like as you're fighting this pig emperor, like bits of his body start falling off, and then you like bits of his skin peel off, and you see that like Terminator style, like Kano from Mortal Kombat eye, you know, where it's like metal with a red eye in it, and it's like, holy shit, it's a robot. And sure enough, after you beat him, you go through a factory that is dedicated to making emperor pigs.
Because it reminds me of like the smithy at the end of Mario RPG.
Yeah, totally.
Then you fight Rocket Blackguard, Axel Gear.
Axel Gear comes back. I thought that was a cool fight.
It was a cool battle, yeah, because he rockets through the side of the spaceship, so you're fighting in the vacuum of space, or trying not to get sucked in. Right. Which was cool.
And he's using all of your moves against you, because we haven't really gone through all of the moves. We've talked about the sword swing and the rocketing. You can rocket with the jetpack, and that does hurt enemies. But there's also a move where if you hold down the B button and let it go without pointing a direction, you'll do like a spin, like kind of like a Sonic spin kind of deal. If you hold down the D-pad in a direction, though, after charging it, that's when you kind of like take off.
And you can bounce off the walls in certain patterns to get around corners and things like that. One thing I like about this game, in Sparkster, there were segments where you had to perfectly time one rocket blast after the other to get through a corridor where lava is rising or electricity is after you or something like. And I mean, you had to be fucking on it. In this game, I felt like the rocket was always just a fun add-on. It wasn't essential for you to like do that super tight of timing involving it to finish a level, but it always added something extra to it, as opposed to like your mastery over it being critical to survival.
I think for the most point you are right, but when you are being chased by Axel Gear in that giant mech, you have to get it. Like you have to be perfect.
Then it's like that? Okay.
Yeah. And it's nice because it's later on in the game. I remember in Sparkster that comes up pretty soon.
Yeah, very soon.
But in Rocket Knight Adventures, it's later on in the game. I feel like at that point they're like, this player probably has a better a good grasp of the rocket mechanics. And for the most part, I think they're right.
And then after that, then you fight the super mecha TV pig.
Yes. So, I love that because this all takes place in the Pig Death Star. It is a what were those? Do you remember when we were kids? They had these toys that were like monster balls. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, it's like heads of monsters that were soft.
Yeah, and they were like, I can't remember what they were called, but that's what the Pig Death Star reminded me of because it's essentially the Death Star with a pig's face on it. Yeah. And then, when you're inside, you fight I guess the mother brain of the Pig Death Star.
Pretty much. I guess that part reminded me of Earthworm Jim because it is very like just you have the center, this weird face in the center of like a TV
screen.
Yeah. That is using this robot spherical body to throw electricity and stuff at you, and you have to time how you hit it and hit certain areas that don't have the electricity balls sort of popping out the side.
Yeah, its dingus comes out at some point.
Yeah.
Which, for whatever reason...
It's Red Rocket.
Yeah, it's Red Rocket. Yeah, it totally comes out, and it's like, got to hit the Red Rocket.
Because it can teleport and things like that. And But once you beat it, and then
and I thought the game was over.
I did too. But you see 2 little dots escape out of the exploding death pig, pig star, and then it turns out that it is the remnants of that thing chasing you. So it's just the TV screen with wires and shit around it.
As you're plummeting to Earth, we'll just say Earth.
That's Earth.
Planet you live on?
Yeah.
And as you're fighting it, you can't attack it.
Yeah, you're an escape pod.
Exactly.
You can't.
All you can do is dodge its attacks, which I thought was hard. I thought its attacks were hard to dodge. And then
they're big sweeping arcs, and it's hard to find that one like where those Venn diagrams would meet. That is a safe space.
Safe spot. Yeah. And that in this regard, it kind of feels like almost like a bullet hell kind of style thing, where it's like you do have to find those safe spots. That's all this boss fight is about, is finding these safe spots, which are hard to predict. Much harder than if you are like being blasted with projectiles, because you don't really have an indication of where this pig TV guy is going to go until you memorize what he does, which is
you can see the planet rising in the background as you get closer and closer and closer to it. Then it turns red as you're entering the atmosphere. It was that was a nice end touch to it.
I thought it was cool. That reminded me of Gunstar Heroes as well. Like just how like action packed it was, because like that part when I fought that boss, that legitimately got my heart pumping. Like that was like because what they do is they do the fake out like over and over and over again, because it's like when you beat the pig when he's in his sphere, it's like, and you escape the pig Death Star, it's like, oh man, I hope that's over.
Yeah,
it might not be over.
It is not.
Yeah, it's like, exactly. And then it's like, oh shit, I'm down to like 2 lives. Like this is it. Like I gotta make this shit happen. So they do a really good job with stuff like that. And then you land, and then we forgot to tell you the story.
Oh, there's a princess here. You don't give a fuck though.
Nah,
she wants you, and you're like, fuck it, I got a fucking rocket.
Yeah, much like
fuck
I think how Sparkster ends on the SNES. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
It's not mating season. Fuck off.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure possums probably do have a mating season, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. There are a bunch of them, so...
Yeah. I thought it was interesting that this game is essentially a 2-button game.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, it easily could have been other than the visual effects, where it has a whole bunch of, like, parallax scrolling and, like, really cool visuals going on. And at some point, there is, you fight a giant snake boss at a waterfall. And it's like he's going back behind the waterfall, and then he'll come back forward through the waterfall. And I think that's like really neat visual effects. Even on like the Death Star, the pig Death Star, there's some really cool like pre-rendered 3D effects in the background, where it's like the ceiling kind of like parallax scrolls with you, but it looks like it's like was rendered in 3D at some point and then brought in as like a background.
Yeah.
Really cool visuals. Like I think this game is like this might be one of the best looking Genesis games that I've played, honestly. Like it's really, really good looking.
I mean, besides Balls 3D, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Balls 3D is pretty damn good.
I mean, those balls that are 3D, man.
3D.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there is that.
It look like a clown.
Yeah. At no point
You can throw its hat.
Yeah. That's all it takes. At no point did any enemy say open wide for Chunky and Rocket Knight Adventures. What the fuck?
Yeah. It's fucking bullshit.
Please let that be our metric from here on forward. Like, does this game say open wide for Chunky? Nope, sure didn't. Sorry, Legend of Zelda. Garbage. I would love, like, that's going to be what I'm going to be known for, is ROM hacking games just to put open wide for Chunky and all
That's
of them.
why in Earthbound, when you go up into a house in Onet, will you open wide for Chunky, yes or no?
Well, I'm thinking instead of it's a secret to everyone, it's open wide for Chunky.
Smile, say open wide for Chunky. Oh, man.
Open wide for Chunky will remember that. Are you keeping up with all the Walking Dead Telltale stuff?
Nope.
Well, Telltale's no more.
Yeah.
So,
just sad.
Like a whole bunch of like...
Which I own all those. I just haven't touched them yet.
Well, I think that's kind of the problem is they released a whole bunch of stuff, and it's like Telltale Games is like one of those studios where it's like, man, I want to support them, but they're kind of putting the same game out over and over again.
Yeah.
And they're really not pushing forward on any, it's all just become like, a machine where it's like, yep, we'll take this IP.
Here's a pop culture thing that I like with the illusion of choice.
Right.
Okay.
So I think that hurt them considerably because they just kind of like left it the same for a really long time.
Yeah.
But like the fact that we're not getting Wolf Among Us 2, which was like on the docket.
That does suck.
That sucks.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. You're right. That does suck.
That sucks worse than
That's the best thing they ever did.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Now I'm really sad because I didn't think about that.
Sorry, didn't mean to make you sad.
Yeah. Maybe that'll be kickstarted in like 10 years.
Well, the latest bit of news on that, not to date the show, but whatever, is like some people have stepped in and been like, oh, we'll finish The Walking Dead. We'll do it. And it's like, I know Robert Kirkman's involved with that, the creator of The Walking Dead. And like, on one hand, that's really cool. But on the other hand, that really sucks for the teams that got laid off. Like the Telltale team, you know? So it's kind of one of those where it's like...
somebody step in and get do the Wolf Among Us. Come on.
Yeah, really. Please, if you're going to pick one...
Come on, people who do Fables.
Yeah, really. Yes. Yeah, that is weird because there are 2 comic book properties. So yeah.
Do you have any achievements for this game or additional commentary?
I do have some achievements for this game.
Although I enjoyed the nice flaming, savoring look you just gave me while you typed into your computer.
Yeah? That's how I look when I type. I just look like passionate.
Except I'm not even looking at the screen, man.
Look at me. I know what I'm typing. I don't even have to look at my fingers. I had middle school keyboarding class.
Put some cardboard over this so I can't even see it.
That's right.
All right.
My teacher knew how to motivate us because that was also the keyboarding class had electric typewriters, which we had to use, but it also had a row of Macintosh computers, which were exclusively for playing games. And the motivation was finish your typing assignment. You can play whatever's on here on these Mac computers. So like that, like all the nerdy kids were like, all right, we'll blow it through this. Plus we talk on message boards and stuff anyway, so it's not that tough. All right, I'm done. Time to play Prince of Persia. Goodbye. I've got some achievements. All of these come from Twitch chat. I did stream this game. It did not go well, first of all, because here's something I need to talk about. Okay. I mentioned that this game is hard. I think this game is difficult, and I think part of that is this game is so unique and has so many mechanics to it that are foreign. You know what I mean? They're like, I'm just not used to a jetpack mechanic. I'm not used to a platformer where I have a sword. You know, like that kind of stuff. Like I'm just kind of getting my bearings. It took me a long time to get my bearings in this game. It also has... I think it fudges a little bit with like hitboxes and stuff like that because like there are several enemies and especially bosses where it's like that crab boss we talked about when you have to destroy both of its pinchers first and then you have to move in and hit its eyes. Like the margin on that you have to be like that is like when it gets like wow, you really got to line that up. So there are weird moments where things do have to be pixel perfect. And unfortunately, I feel like those moments all involve like killing an enemy because it's not Mario style where you jump on an enemy. It's like you have to hit it with your sword or rocket into it. And that sword only goes so far.
Yeah.
And also, like, when you swing the sword and hit with it, you get, like, this little tiny bit of invincibility, which once you learn that, the game becomes completely different because there are some regular enemies. Like, the very first level of the game, there's, like, this Jeep. It's not a boss. It's, like, a Jeep full of pigs. And it's, like, they just try to, like, run you over. And it's, like, you hit it, and it doesn't explode in one hit. You have to hit it multiple times. And I freaked out because I was like, oh shit, I hit it. And now it's going to run me over. And it's like, that's not really the case. You just have to time how you hit it so that it doesn't hurt.
Same for enemies that throw bombs and shit like that.
Exactly. So there's a lot of like, I don't know. It felt ambiguous to me. A lot of things in this game felt like there's this level of ambiguity built into it. And sometimes it's to the benefit of the player, but sometimes it is very much against the player. So I don't know. Personally, I prefer games like Rocket Knight Adventures sometimes don't feel fair to me because sometimes I will die in a game that has that ambiguity built in, and I feel like I didn't die because of something I did. Like in Super Mario Brothers, when I die, I'm like, I fucked up.
Yeah, I did that.
And like Super Meat Boy, even. It's like, oh, well.
Oh, you fucking did that.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking get back in there.
Right. But this game had a lot of moments in it where it's like, if only I would have known that, you know? So I feel like it's kind of built into the DNA of Rocket Knight Adventures to like just try it over and over again until you get it. Tyler.
Yes, Dave.
Here are my achievements.
All right.
First achievement coming from Faceful of Alien Wingwong in Twitch chat. 3 little rednecks. In order to unlock 3 little rednecks, go to Dollar General 3 times with a rude woman. It's weird. It's like he knew.
Yeah.
Did you tell him the story beforehand?
Yeah. Well, everybody's been to a Dollar General. That's generally just what happens.
In order to unlock 3 little rednecks, you need to get killed by 3 little pigs and their shitty little redneck pickup truck. Those are the enemies that I was talking about. Next achievement I got comes from Bubba Drewski, and in order to unlock It's My Pig in a Box. It's my pig in a box. Sorry, I didn't sell it. Let me try again. You need to open a pig present. Because this game has several moments where they psych you out. The first of which is very early on. Sparkster runs into a giant present. It's like a giant gift-wrapped box, and there's not a present in there. There's a pig in there. It's a pig in a box. You remember that?
Nice.
Do you remember the dick in a box? You remember that
The
thing?
what?
Dick in a box. You remember that?
That sounds gross.
You remember
David.
that thing? Yeah, it's pretty gross. But it's Justin Timberlake, so it makes it adorable.
Unsavory. Oh, that kid from the Mickey Mouse Club?
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
So here, I've got a theory for you. If this is like, I don't know, this you might consider this me being a SNL detractor. There's nothing wrong with SNL. Sometimes I really like it. But SNL, here are my complaints. A lot of times the writing in SNL feels like, well, we got this one joke and we're going to do it for 3 minutes. Another thing about SNL that bothers me is like, and I guess this could be seen as a good thing because it's like that dick in a box bit, like that whole thing would not work without Justin Timberlake. Like you put, I don't know, Rodney Dangerfield in there.
Yeah. Hey.
Do a dick in a box, not going to play the same. So it's like, I guess that's a sign of good writing where they like, no, this will fly with Justin Timberlake. But it's also one of those things that really bugs the shit out of me because it's like, this only works because of Justin Timberlake.
Well, same for that one, the one with the dancing mascots.
I don't think I'm familiar with that.
It was Justin Timberlake like dressed as like a milkshake or whatever, and he would bring it on down to Frostyville.
No, I don't remember that one.
Okay.
Frostyville, the sequel to Farmville.
There.
It's the one where you work in a not Dairy Queen, a Schmerry Queen.
Schmerry Queen.
Yeah,
Dairy Queef?
Schmerry Queef.
Schmerry Queen.
Please. We don't want to get sued.
A fairy queef.
Next achievement comes from Mike of MacTac. You might know him from Mike and Kyle Talk About Cops. Maybe a suplex will work. And in order to unlock maybe a suplex will work, you need to kill the train pig robot thing.
Can we call him Malort Master?
Malort Master?
Malort Master Mike?
Or just Malort Mike.
Malort.
We tip our fedoras. Malort Mike. Yes, I'm fine with either.
Okay.
What that translates to is you'll do your thing and I'll do my thing.
Perfect. Love it.
Until eventually, subconsciously, one of us will give in to the other.
Yeah, the other one, whichever one is better, will eventually rule.
If there's a good response to one, that's how we'll go.
That's what happens.
And the last achievement I've got comes from Ben from Street Pizza. It's another podcast that you should totally check out, along with MacTac. Must Go Faster. And in order to unlock Must Go Faster, you need to run as fast as you can while clenching your butthole while you're running away from the metal pigs in stage 5. Because there are some mazes that you need to traverse with these unkillable metal pigs. They kind of look like, they reminded me kind of, and I haven't seen much of it, but the Cylons from old school Battlestar Galactica, where they have that like moving red line or whatever through their eyes. They kind of reminded me of that.
They look like Chrome Dome from Turtles.
Yes. Yeah. They reminded me of that, and they have these big spiky shields, and they are unkillable. And there's a really nice moment in the game where it's like there's an obvious one-up, like right before you meet one of them, where it's like the designer was like, they're going to try to kill this thing, and they don't know it's unkillable, so let's give them an extra life before they even run into it.
We'll give them a mulligan.
So yeah, those things, that's how you beat all those things to unlock Must Go Faster.
Okay.
Tyler.
Yes, Dave.
Do you have any achievements?
I have 2.
You have 2 achievements. What are they?
The first one is just night will do. And that is you beat a level without using your rocket.
Oh, Lord.
So, just night.
I guess it's possible in some levels.
Like the first one or something. Yeah. And then my second one is in under 12 parsecs.
Oh, holy shit. A rare Star Wars reference from Tyler.
And that is when you never get hit as you fall to Earth.
Okay. So. When at the very end?
Yes.
Okay, at the very end when you're in the
you fall to home planet.
Gotcha. Okay.
Possum planet. That's all I got.
Tyler.
Yes, Dave.
I've got some questions for you.
Hell yeah. Give me them fucking questions.
If you were to give this game a beard that sums up how you feel about it, what kind of beard would it be? And why? I'm not letting you off easy. This is a long form.
Okay. No, you're giving why. I would give it the beards that Goku and Vegeta grow when they get out of the hyperbolic time chamber in Dragon Ball Super.
I'm familiar with those beards, and I'm not sure why, because I've not watched that. Have you given those beards before?
I don't think I have.
I've seen those beards.
And and they grow these beards because they go into the hyperbolic time chamber, which is... Once you go in there, you're in a different dimension where time flows faster. So once
they age.
They Saiyans age strangely.
I got you.
They don't. As a warrior race, they're much more long lived.
Gotcha.
So
do they eventually turn into giant monkeys? Is that their last form before they die?
I wish. I haven't seen the Ozaru form drops off completely.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
So, I mean, I wish that's the one thing I'll give Dragon Ball GT is they bring that back.
That's cool.
But other than that, I wish they'd touched it in Dragon Ball Super.
Because that's a real big deal in original Dragon Ball. A really big deal.
Yeah. And I mean, it should, and it's relevant in the very first part of Z. Like all the Saiyan saga and stuff where you first meet Vegeta, it's still a big deal.
Do they get rid of it because they think it's too silly?
Possibly.
Because it is pretty silly.
Possibly.
Okay. They're like, we're done with this baby shit.
We'll just do Super Saiyan stuff. No more monkeys, just Aryan princes. So there we go.
Targeting 10-year-olds anymore. Exclusively 12-year-olds. No more giant monkeys.
But they go in once they go in, I think you're sealed in there until one Earth Day passes. Well, one Earth Day is
like the holiday?
Yes. One Earth. Yeah, it's waiting for Earth Day. So for one Earth Day, you're in the hyperbolic time chamber for a year. So they use that as like, some big shit is coming, is going to be here in 3 days. We're not powerful enough to defeat it. Okay, well, we'll go train in the hyperbolic time chamber to try and get strong enough.
Gotcha.
So that's their...
And they do a montage.
Sometimes.
Of them training. Sometimes they just go in and come out.
Yeah.
They're like, we're stronger.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
So like when the first people to use it are Vegeta and Trunks, and you don't see their training. You just see they go in.
Oh, okay.
There's some talking outside. They come back out.
Okay.
Vegeta looks exactly the same, and Trunks' hair is down past his shoulders. Yeah.
It's like Arthur in Ghost of Goblins. The door opens and like he just
because it's the Dragon Ball Z bridge is pretty funny how they deal with all that.
You showed me a bit of that after last episode. That whole bit with the trucker hat thing was wonderful. I want to put a link to that.
The trucker hat.
Yeah, in the show notes.
What are you? I'm Android 13, and this is my trucker hat.
Like that legit had me laughing because it's like, I don't know. Can you please tell me if there is a scene where you see the silhouette of, would you say Android 13, and then this mechanical arm lowers and places a trucker hat, the silhouette of a trucker hat on him. Does that happen
I don't believe so.
Okay.
They do some editing in.
Okay.
So, and you could tell when they do, but I think that was just a perfect thing that they did because whenever he does actually on screen have, everyone has what they wear their red ribbon emblem on. Right. His is a trucker hat.
And I also love how they were changing all of Vegeta's pink shirt words.
Dumb Cumpster.
Right.
What are you looking at? Because I'm a real man. Blowjob princess.
Yes, I mean, it's great. On one hand, I really want to watch all
he
of
borrows all Bulma's clothes because she washes his armor and fucks it up.
Oh, is that the story?
Yeah.
I gotcha.
So that's why he's wearing a pink shirt.
It's like when Marge messes up the laundry and Homer gets
Exactly.
his. Yeah, gotcha.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because the one...
Probably where they got it.
Because I still laugh so hard. I watched it all over again. Like, because Bulma and Vegeta, hook up. You never like really see it, but so they clip it in to them having sex, and you see a big blast. When he.
I'm sorry.
When he
What?
comes.
Can you go back?
A blast of energy comes out when he comes.
No, it was before that. They're having sex.
Trunks is just there, so at some point they have sex. But
Sure.
it's never addressed in the show.
Oh,
but
okay.
Abridged puts it in.
Oh, okay. All right.
It
Gotcha.
dubs their voices over still scenes to fill in the gaps, and you just Vegeta comes. Did you wear a condom? What the fuck's a condom?
When you started that, and you said because we got here from you saying, and this is a hyperbolic chamber. It's. I immediately thought, like the way you said it, I thought of the jump to conclusions Matt guy in Office Space. It's a chamber that's hyperbolic.
It's the biggest chamber ever in the universe. Hyperbolic time chamber. But I just, and like everything in the chamber, it's 10 times Earth's gravity.
Oh, right. We're doing achievements.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
So it's much more difficult to train in there for a year. Most of they explain it away that Goku doesn't use it as a kid because he wouldn't survive it. He doesn't even until he's back from fighting Frieza as a Super Saiyan. He could not survive a year in the chamber to train. So it wasn't an option before, even though it existed before.
Rough. Okay. Well, that's a nice little device.
Yeah.
So that they like make sure that like you or I can't go in there and then come out wonderful.
Yeah, because the temperature like goes up. It fluctuates between like -20 to 144 degrees.
Yeah, it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah. So, and then 10 times Earth's gravity. Yeah, not everyone can just go in there and be fine.
So does this tie into your glasses that you're gonna give this game?
My beards.
They're beards.
My beards.
Okay. All right.
Because this game is very long and difficult, like being stuck in the hyperbolic time chamber for a year.
Gotcha. Yes. Does the hyperbolic time chamber from the outside look like the giant robotic egg at the end of a Sonic level that you like jump on the plunger and like all the bunnies and rabbits stuff come out?
It's just door.
Oh,
just door Mr. Popo guards.
I got you. Mr. Popo, the policeman. That's the racist character, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I've heard of him.
Yeah.
I've heard of that one. Tyler.
Yes, Dave.
I have another question for you. Do you remember what glasses you gave Sparkster for the SNES?
You know I do.
I know you do because Miller has #MoreMiller has brought it up on the show before. I do feel like this is where outlandish beards and glasses got its its roots.
Yeah.
What glasses did you give Sparkster?
Well, ask me what these glasses are first.
Oh, okay. Is it going to work better that way? Okay, Tyler. What glasses did you give Rocket Knight Adventures? Not Sparkster.
I will give it a windshield where you're driving in the woods and you stop and a possum drops onto your windshield. But it's fine and it just walks off your windshield back into the woods.
Gotcha. Okay. Perfect. What glasses did you give Sparkster? Do you remember?
It was a windshield where you're driving very quickly down the road and a possum drops under your windshield and explodes at your acceleration. Bloody possum mess goes everywhere.
Breaks your windshield and bits of bloody possum window goes into your eye.
Ah, okay.
I just want to remind you how much you hated Sparkster.
Yeah, I did.
Tyler.
Yes, Dave.
I've got another question for you. How much do you think this game is on price charting, on average, loose?
I remember Sparkster was pretty expensive.
I'm glad you remember that because I do not.
Well, I remember seeing it. I remember us talking about it being expensive and then seeing it at our local non-corporate game shop, and it's very expensive there.
Yeah. Keep in mind everything at that
Everything's
shop
very
is
expensive. They don't mean to sell it.
No,
so.
no, it's a dude's collection with like very high prices on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say Genesis games aren't typically as expensive.
Okay.
So I want to put $37.
Tyler, you are very, very
Wrong.
You're very close to complete price.
Oh.
Complete is $37.48.
Oh.
But actual retail value for Rocket Knight Adventures for the Sega Genesis used on pricecharting.com is $19.99. On average, one sale per day.
Wow.
I know, right?
Well, it's just one. Everybody passes it around.
Probably, yeah. And like actually seeing the chart for this game is crazy, dude. Because like in 2008, this game on average went for $2. Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
So it's always fun to look at those charts where it's like, and they're always like that, especially for like.
It's always just fun to look at charts.
Dude, I love looking at charts.
Yeah.
Can I tell you that?
Our data is beautiful.
That is a wonderful subreddit. I love that subreddit. Tyler, I've got a quiz that comes from us from Bovine Bear Quiz Master Matt Cowan.
Fuck yeah.
Would you like to take it?
Hell yeah.
Before we take it, I have one thing more that I want to say about Rocket Knight Adventures that I think is worth mentioning.
Okay.
And this goes in with the level of detail in the game. I know that I should have let this be and not bring it up so that everything's nice and tight, but I'm going super sloppy double dare on us.
Fuck yeah. Get in that nose. Get that flag.
I get that flag. You think I'm not going to go in that pancake? I'm going to slide under that big old pancake. I'm going to find it. I don't care how much butter you put on it. I don't care how much giant butter. Was that really butter? There's no way.
There's no way.
There's
Surely
no way that
not
was
real
really butter.
It's margarine.
Yeah. Maybe that's
It's much cheaper.
Yeah. But there is one thing I love about retro video games are the idle animations. And the idle animation that Sparkster has in Rocket Knight Adventures, have you seen it? Is he will stand there and he'll mug at the player and hold up a sign that says, "Let's go."
I mean, he Jim from the offices of the camera. Just
yes. Yeah, he totally gems. You're right. And also, there's a nice little touch where the way the jetpack mechanic works is you hold down the jump button until your gauge fills up. As soon as that gauge fills up, you can let go, and you'll either do the spin attack or you'll jetpack forward or whatever direction you're pressing. If you hold that button down for long enough, I think it's like 30 seconds, Sparkster's jetpack explodes. And he gets like black soot and everything on his face, which is a really fun thing that they added into the game, but it really sucks when you're doing a segment where it's like, I know I'm going to have the jetpack here in 35 seconds. That happened to me. Like I totally died in this auto-scrolling level where it's like you have to like jetpack through like these really tight corridors that get smaller and smaller and smaller, and eventually they'll crush you. And it's like I knew it was coming up, so I had it held down, and it was like I get right to the entrance of that tunnel, and poof, and then I get squished.
Yeah.
Because you can't move while that animation is going.
Yeah.
So anyway, sorry I fucked up the flow.
No, it's a good detail. I'm glad you said that.
I hope that you don't mind that I fixed it because I told you those two things while I was inside my hyperbolic time chamber.
Oh yeah, you look much stronger
and older.
Yeah,
because I am human. I can't grow a beard, but I just have these weird like I came out of the chamber with like weird like wires coming out of my face. It's like someone took a pipe cleaner and like, oh, what's all this fuzzy shit?
Take it off.
Yep, and they just stuck it in my face.
Coat hanger face.
Coat hanger face. Yeah. Are you ready to take this quiz from Matt?
Hell yeah.
All right, here we go. Rocket Knight Adventures quiz. Matt apologized for his last quiz when he gave me this one, and I was like, don't apologize.
Don't apologize. Just do it right next time.
No. Just accept
I'm just joking. Yeah,
just accept that we
thank you for giving us content.
Absolutely. I was just accept that we will call you on your bullshit. All right. First question. Correct spelling of possum, which is a really difficult question for him to do because you have to, in order to ask that question, you have to spell it, but he spelled it wrong.
Okay. So it's O-P-O-S-S-U-M.
I feel like we're closer now.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be weird if like two people have done a podcast for 5 years, spell possum simultaneously? Like if that was a thing that triggers like a cataclysmic event.
Hey, we'll see.
I think I read that in the book of Revelations, actually. Let's see if we're right. We didn't do it in all caps.
Shit.
Fuck.
Caps lock. OP.
We nailed it. All right. Next question. We're 1 for, I'm assuming, 10. 1982 through 1995 comic book series. 1991 motion picture. 1991 NES game. Motion picture. What was a comic book series, motion picture, and NES game? Ninja Turtles, of course, but those dates don't line up, right?
It doesn't sound like it.
Because maybe it does, man, because 91...
How is it related to Rocket Knight?
I know, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Maybe just anthropomorphic animals?
Yeah, Howard the Duck.
No way, dude. Howard the Duck's way older than that.
Is it?
Because I would have been 10 in 1991.
Wow.
And I think when I was 9, I think I was trying to pause to find that frame of that naked woman in Howard the Duck. I want to come back to it.
Okay.
Because I feel like we can get this.
Okay.
Oh, God. Maybe we can't. Oh, it's going to bug the shit out of me. Okay. Tyler. Sparkster's original name, comma, Star Wars laser gun. Should be a blaster.
Blaster.
So, blaster?
Yeah.
Blaster. Blaster it is. I feel like Sparkster probably an upgrade. Even though blasting is totally what he does.
Yep.
Blasting, also one of my favorite search terms. Next question. This dating simulation video game, huh? You hear that? You're paying attention to that? I feel like this is your wheelhouse. This dating simulation video game on PS1 featured Sparkster as a boss.
I had no fucking clue.
Me neither. I can't name a PlayStation 1 dating sim.
I mean, I have no clue.
Me neither.
I don't even have a guess.
Let's go with
Harvest Moon.
Rocket Knight Edition.
Yeah.
Possum Edition.
Possum.
Oh, oops, all possums. The answer is Mitsumete Knight. So, I haven't played that one. Sorry. Upcoming episode. Tyler, to play possum is to what?
Play dead.
Pretend like you're dead.
Feign death.
Feign death. A hunter ability in World of Warcraft. Play dead. I'll give us credit on that. Have you seen the print ad for Rocket Knight Adventures?
No.
It's a 3-page ad where the first page is an illustration of a realistic depiction of a possum playing dead. And the copy in large print says something like, most possums play dead when confronted. And then on the next 2 pages is a spread, and it says, this one goes ballistic.
Ooh. Ooh.
And then it says an illustration of Sparkster rocketing across those 2 pages. Did you see the TV ad that I posted?
I saw you posted, but I haven't watched it.
That is worth a watch. Check us out. I posted on Facebook, TADPOG on Facebook. The commercial is wonderful. It's of an old woman, and it is like an old woman playing Rocket Knight Adventures, and it is like everything you could possibly hope out of a 1993 video game commercial. It's very Sega edgy. Tyler, next question. Basketball coach, this is also you, who famously threw a chair onto the court after a technical foul.
It's the coach for Indiana.
Indiana Jones, I believe, was his name.
White-haired, Bobby Knight.
Bobby Knight?
Bobby Knight.
Bobby Knight? That sounds like you're pretty confident.
That's it.
I loved him in Bobby Knight Rises. Bob Knight. Count it. I'm sure his friends call him Bobby.
Yeah.
And you're one of his friends.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm very impressed.
Thank you.
I seriously am impressed. Very impressed. Tyler. Oh, I know you know this one. The Possums are a group of minor characters from this animated Disney film.
Goof Troop.
Goof Troop movie. Okay. All right.
A goofy movie.
All right. He says Bambi. And yeah, there are possums in Bambi, but there's also the possum band in the Goof Troop movie.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead.
We're going to take it.
We're taking it. We're taking it. Because, I mean, come on, the possums in Bambi are like a cameo. Minor character would be the possum band. Yeah. All right. I'm giving us credit. We're good.
Fiat.
Yeah.
It's our podcast. We got it right.
This is a wonderful quiz, but we're going to overrule your answer. All right. Next question. GTA game that featured a hidden rocket pack.
Vice City?
I have no idea. I'm fine going with Vice City. Although
that seems 80s.
It does. but I feel like I would have remembered that from Vice City. And I played Vice City a lot.
The original one?
Yeah, maybe. I didn't play that one at all. I played 2 a very little bit.
Phone a friend. Let's call Jacob's dad.
You want to call him? I don't have his number. Do you?
No.
Does he listen still?
I hope so.
I hope so too. You want to go? I mean, you want to go Vice City? Maybe I didn't find it.
No,
I mean,
if you didn't find it, it's got to be a different one.
But Vice City pinged with me.
Or would
too.
it be 5?
I never played 5, so maybe. Ugh, man, I'm second guessing myself. Just because I didn't find it in Vice City doesn't mean it's not there, and it does feel like a very Vice City thing. Let's go with Vice City.
Okay.
San Andreas.
Oh.
Yeah. All right.
Didn't think of that one. Okay.
Yeah. Tyler. All, quote, mascot with attitude, unquote, type games from the 90s exist because of the success of this Sega game. Sonic the Hedgehog, right?
Read the question again.
All, because Rocket Knight Adventures is totally a animal mascot platformer, right? So all mascot with attitude type games from the 90s exist because of the success of this Sega game.
All right, Sonic.
Has to be Sonic the Hedgehog, right?
Sure.
Yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Okay.
Got it.
All right.
Last question until we go back to the one about comic books and shit that I don't know the answer to. The other Sega Genesis game to have a possum as its mascot.
The only other Sega game.
The other Sega Genesis game to have a possum as its mascot. I know the answer to this one.
No, I don't. Go ahead.
And I know it because of Blumpkin Bear mentioned it on the Twitch stream. That is Awesome Possum. Awesome Possum kicks Dr. Machino's butt, apparently is the full title of that. I'm giving us credit.
Yeah.
All right, back to question 2. 1982 to 1995 comic book series, 1991 motion picture, 1991 NES game.
Yeah, Turtles.
Let's go Turtles. I really feel bad going Turtles, but it's like, do you remember how old you were? Okay, first let me ask you this. Did you see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the theater?
No.
Okay, because that would help. Because I was going to say, how old were you? I saw it in the theater, and I'm trying to remember how old I was.
I think The Mask was the first movie I ever saw in a movie theater.
Really? I love that.
It was The Mask or it was Hook.
That explains why you're always like, somebody stop me.
Yeah. It's awful when I eat spaghetti and meatballs. Every meatball. Oh, that's a spicy meatball. Go to Subway, get a meatball sub. People fucking hate me.
Just so you could say that. Yeah, let's go Turtles. I do feel like I was probably around 10 years old when I saw that movie. And I know the comic book series started in the 80s. That feels a little early for me, 1982. And 1991 seems a little late for the NES game, but Turtles.
It was on the heels of the movie, I thought.
No, man, I think it came out like on the heels of the first season of the show.
Okay.
So this one's really throwing me off just because those dates aren't lining up for me. But Turtles.
Turtles.
Fucking Rocketeer. The fucking Rocketeer.
Oh.
Is the answer.
We went the wrong way.
And I wouldn't have gotten it. So I feel better because I don't ever think of the Rocketeer as a comic. I just don't.
I did not know it was. I thought it was just a movie.
I mean, me neither. And I've never seen the movie.
Neither have I.
I remember seeing...
I always thought it looked cool, and I wanted to see it. Never have.
I've heard the video game's really bad.
Perfect. We should do that.
Well, thank you, Matt. I appreciate the quiz.
Yes, thank you.
I liked it a lot, even though your Bambi one was wrong.
But we fix it for you. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry. We got it. We got our red pens out.
But real quickly, I want to thank Jonathan Wilson. He done our amazing poster.
Yeah, he did it.
Talked about wanting to do a game, a tabletop game with us. Which as soon as we can have time to sort that out, I want to do that.
Oh, that was him. I didn't know you. Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But a friend of mine, is engaging. I don't want to say his name or his workplace, but he is engaging in a little bit of peaceful protest as to some things that are going on at his workplace. And he sent me a sketch that he's wanting to put up at his workplace. That was his... It's
a crinkle cut fry being fucked by a caterpillar.
Yeah. It was... it's as his company, his logo on the face of Atlas holding up another company on a pile of shit on a plate. It makes sense in its proper context, which I'm not going to reveal. But he's not the best artist. He was like, anyone who can make this not look like shit. So I was like, I think I do. Let me see. And I sent it to Jonathan. And I was like, hey, I explained it. I was like, can you do this for him? And because I sent him before I went to bed. Because he's in China. He teaching English. And when I got up the next morning, he's like, sure, man, here you go. And it was that's great hand-drawn sketch. And I sent it to my friend. He was like, fucking A. So I very much want to thank Jonathan Wilson.
That's amazing.
And he sent me just now where I said, thank you. He just now replied to me and said, anything to get me a title.
Oh.
So I would like to give him a title. Here's some ideas I had.
All right.
Sketch Lord.
Sketch Lord, that's good.
Because he's also the 2 posters that he has drawn out for us. Those 2 sketches are amazing.
They're amazing, yeah. They really are.
Pencil Prince.
Okay, I like Pencil Prince.
Art Aristocrat.
Okay.
Ink Romancer.
Oh, that's a good one.
Sketch Romancer.
Which I feel like yes, let's go with Sketchomancer. Because like Inkomancer I liked a lot, but it's like I'm gonna fuck that up real bad at some point.
All right. So Sketchomancer, Jonathan Wilson.
Sketchermancer?
Sketchermancer or Sketchromancer?
I like Sketchro.
Sketchro?
Nice.
All right. Sketchromancer.
Okay. Sketchomancer.
Perfect. So there you go. I hope you like that, Jonathan. Then thank you again, and I fucking love your art.
Yeah, it is really good. If you haven't seen his art, there needs to be a better place where we have it.
He said he's almost done with the finalized version of what he sent us. Like the first one he sent us, A View on My Shoulders, like Master Blaster. Another one he sent him like a full, like what would be a amazing poster. He said he's almost finished with, I guess, colorizing and everything for that one.
We need to like get his permission to reproduce that.
Fuck yes.
Because like I work at a print shop and like we can get those made, like, for real.
Oh, man. Yeah, because I would love get one of those framed and put it on the wall.
Yeah, for real.
His shit that would be amazing.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was going to say, like, I wish there was a good place. I wish we had a place we could send people to see what he's done already.
Yeah.
But he's essentially just posted it to TADPOG Nation. That's our Facebook group.
Yep.
So, like, if you want to see it, which, trust me, you do, it's really, really good. Like, that was, like, when I saw him post it, it was like, holy shit. Like, this is
someone legit like our show?
Right, like, this is next level. Like, this is next level stuff. It's really, really good. So I guess when it's done, we'll figure out like something. We'll figure a home for it. We'll find a home for it where people can go and see it.
Also, Jonathan, if you like the show, go back and listen to our Call of Cthulhu episodes. And if that encourages any sort of art, okay, that'd be cool.
Chandra did some really cool art.
I love the fan art of all that. That's my favorite.
Portraits.
That's my favorite shit.
Yeah,
so
it's good stuff. Cool.
Or Little Fears, both of our tabletop experiences. Because that's why he said I think why did he listen to one that we'd done, and he wanted, tabletop with you guys so we can figure it out. So I was trying to go back and forth with him on trying to figure out how to do it on Patreon. He's in China, so that complicates what we're trying to do that.
Time stuff is going to be rough.
It's something I'm very interested in.
Okay, cool. Yeah, me too. I'm currently I'm in a Torchbearer game, and it's like I'm like on a 1 game kind of thing right now, just with the schedule and everything. Yeah. But like I could probably that happens every 2 weeks, once every 2 weeks. So I could probably like squeeze something in between those. Yeah.
Okay. I'm good.
That's a really good game, that Torchbearer game.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's a really good game.
Remember you talked about that system for a long time.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's a system that
you had to hunt down a group to do that.
Yeah, and it was like one of those where it's so different than D&D and it's so different than any other game that I've played, any other tabletop game that I've played, that I've really wanted to run it, but I didn't feel comfortable running it until I played in it first. And it's like, it's a really, really cool game. It's kind of like, it's not going to be for everybody. It's one of those. It's not like a crowd pleaser like D&D, where D&D I feel like has something for everybody. Torchbearer is, if you're familiar with Darkest Dungeon, it's akin to Darkest Dungeon.
Okay.
It's one of those games where it's like you constantly have to worry about your light source. And if your light source goes out, things get much tougher. And it's also a deadly game. It's not hit point based. It's condition based, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
So it's like if something makes you sick and you do something bad, you could die. I mean, it's just like one of those things where it's like, oh, you're injured. So the next thing down the list is dead. So you're dead.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one of those like, don't get too used to your characters unless your game master is like, because the guy who's running the game is really cool, and we all kind of got attached to our characters in this campaign, which is players are one to do. So he's kind of built in like a house rule where it's like there are persona points in the game, which are kind of like action points or something in Eberron, where it's like one of those things where it's like, if you have a persona point and you're dead and you die, you can spend a persona point and you'll
just be injured.
You'll be injured. You'll be incapacitated until like the next town phase, but you won't be permanently dead. You'll essentially be dead enough for the rest of that adventure.
So you're only dead if you're out of persona points and then die.
And then die, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So that's nice. That kind of gives everyone like a nice safety net. Another reason is one of our players is a really good artist, and she's been doing drawings of like everything. So
that's the only reason I wish I was good at drawing. That I would just love to do gameplay sketches of shit like that. So
she's awesome, and she's been doing it because the game reminds us all of Darkest Dungeon. She's been doing it in that art style, the Darkest Dungeon art style. So yeah, it's really cool.
Awesome.
So yeah, it's fun. That's all I got. I think
that's all I got too. All right.
Cool.
Before I go into our spiel, what are we going to do next week?
Let's do. We talked about doing Dracula X, Castlevania Dracula X. Are you cool with that?
Yeah, because I think we're gonna. Our goal is to soon do Cosmic Star Heroine.
Yes.
Because we were given, since we have a podcast, they gave us some free codes for that on the Switch.
Yeah, I know. Like, I feel legit. Like, you asked.
Thank you, Z-Boyd Games.
Yeah, you asked for review codes, and we got them.
Yeah.
And then we haven't done the game yet.
No.
So, I mean, but, whatever.
But it's an RPG. It's going to be a process.
It's going to be a while, right.
So, announce that now. We're going to be working on that as we do other, maybe easier games. So, but next week, all right, Dracula X.
Also, haven't forgotten about Silent Hill 2.
Yep. And Evil Dead Regeneration right here in front of me.
Yep. Haven't forgotten about those either. Silent Hill 2, I do want to get to soon.
If nothing else, then have Miller back on.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. I'm ready for Miller to come back. I love it. I love shows that Miller's on.
Most people do.
Also, Sparkster for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just throwing that out there. He's kind of like Meta Knight, but better.
He would play like Meta Knight.
He would play like Meta Knight. Yeah, he essentially is. Or maybe Meta Knight. No, he is Meta Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's how it works. I'm trying to... Which came out first? Probably Meta Knight.
Yeah, I would think so.
That's my guess.
Let's see. How do I even start the outro? What do I do?
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks for listening, everybody. You can find the show on iTunes, Stitcher, and got that big ass backlog on YouTube.
That's right.
So if our feed only goes back so far, you're like, where's more episodes? They're on YouTube.
Thank you, Executive Bruiser Janie.
They're also on our website, but that's kind of clunky to listen to. I'd go to YouTube.
But still, if you want to, it's tadpog.com.
Yep. If you want to do it.
But you don't want to.
We did SoundCloud, but they fucking suck, so fuck SoundCloud.
I've been teetering on the edge of like, should we go back to SoundCloud? Just because every now and then I run into somebody who's like, I found you guys on SoundCloud. And when I hear it, I'm like, awesome, I'm glad you did. But I'm also like, fuck, we don't have SoundCloud anymore.
No. Well, I mean, you'd have to pay to listen to some of our episodes, download our episodes, and fuck that.
Yeah, it's true.
If it wasn't for that, I would say we would have stuck with SoundCloud. I would have been all for sticking with SoundCloud had that not happened.
I get it.
So in this next episode, we're going to be doing Castlevania Dracula X for the SNES. Maybe messing with the ports like Rondo of Blood, the original Japanese, because that's on the Wii or Wii U.
Yeah, I think they got the TurboGrafx.
So some version. We'll check that out. That'll be the game we'll be doing. I wish I had my copy for PSP.
I don't think we can buy games on the Wii anymore, right?
Oh, really?
Didn't they close that shop down?
Maybe.
I think they did, like just recently, or there was an announcement that they're shutting it down soon. I can't remember which one it is.
Because I transferred all my purchases over to my Wii U, so I don't even know what I could. Or maybe it's the Wii Store. Wii Store is available on the Wii U.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, there you go. Maybe I might do that.
But I think it's the Wii Store that they're shutting down. Like, gotcha. I don't think we're going to be able to access it. I'll look into that.
Yeah. If not, let's see. Be the next episode. Hey, do you not like dollar store stories very much? You can send us a package, and we'll do that instead of intros. So you can send that to TADPOG Studios, care of Nicole Nance, P.O. Box 3785, Paducah, Kentucky, zip code 42002.
And we have packages.
Fuck yeah.
We do. I just need to get them. And Tadpog Sweetheart Nicole is very pregnant. So
extraordinarily.
Yes. So, and it's her P.O. box that we're sharing. So I never really want to be like, hey, I'm sure you're super uncomfortable and like ready to have a baby, but can I get this package from you? So What happens is actually they end up being very nice, and like when they're in the area, like I'll get a text from one of them and be like, "We're gonna be near your house. Do you want us to bring this package?" So I know we've got at least one, but I'm almost positive it's hot sauce.
Yeah, because no one's ever just around my house. So they would be around your house.
Yeah.
No one's out this far.
Yeah, and even honestly, where I live is kind of out there a little bit as far as our town goes. So it's on the fringe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're behind. You're close to Walmart.
I am, but I'm technically out of the city limits.
Oh, okay.
Technically. Missed it by 3 blocks.
Technicality. Perfect. Perfect.
Also, Meta Knight first appeared in 1993, the same year that Rocket Knight Adventures came out. So,
okay.
There we go.
Let's see. We have an Instagram, TADPOG_podcast. Facebook group. We've got TADPOG on Facebook. Then the TADPOG Nation, which is where the real shit goes on. So if you don't just want episode announcements and stuff like that, if you want that real like perverted raw shit, that real, that TADPOG classic shit.
That good.
That good shit. TADPOG Nation.
That's where you find it.
Just don't be a bot.
Yeah.
Or people we've kicked out for being awful human beings. Besides that.
Hasn't been many.
Besides that. Yeah, like one.
Hasn't been many. We got shirts.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Shirts.tadpog.com now points to all 3 of the shirts that we have. We got the Dave style chicken shirt that Sandwich Pope Phil designed for us. We have sold several of those. So I've got, I think about $67 that's going towards the Get Phil to Tadpog Prom fund.
It's pretty close. He's pretty
Very
close. Then.
We're like closing in on like $100 left, that kind of deal.
Nice.
So he's going to prom. I mean, that's going to happen for sure. And there's also a Tadpog Rip shirt on there. That's our Twitch emote.
Now, what is that? I don't know. I saw it. It looks like a cool design, but I don't know anything about that.
Like which part? Like what's a Twitch emote?
Or what's the rip? I don't know.
Like rest in peace. So it's like
you do that when you die. Somebody does that, or
like when somebody dies, you'll normally someone will say rip, or there'll be an emote that like expresses rip. So that's what that is.
And you have a unique one.
Yeah. So like on Twitch, you can design an emote that you can use. So anyone that like subs to the channel can use that emote, and they can use it not only in your channel, but they can use it anywhere on Twitch. And there's different tiers depending on how much their subscription is. So it's like, I only have one emote because really, honestly, it's like, I think and it dawned on me later because I was like in the Twitch dashboard. The last stream I did was on my birthday. And I think for my birthday, someone subbed as tier 2. Which is like, instead of $5 a month, it's $10 a month. And it was like, whoa, I wish I would have realized that when it happened, because like, that's amazing. I've never had a tier 2 sub before. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, oh shit, now I have to make a tier 2 emote. Because all I have is the one, because all I really, I was like,
no one's going to do more than this.
Yeah, no one's going to do this, let alone more than this. So what's the point in having it? So I guess now I need to have one. So that was cool.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. Awesome.
And you can buy it in shirt form. Now in shirt form.
That is pretty cool. I like that you did that.
Shirts.tadpog.com.
3 shirts, man.
3 shirts. That's the trilogy. Edgelord Kyle told me to call it a trilogy. He said it will. He said that it will arouse the collector spirit.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Got to own all 3.
Yeah, you can join the trilogy club.
That's right.
If you own all 3 shirts.
That's right.
Let us know if you own all 3.
It's a real thing. Just like Tadpog points.
You get a little trilogy asterisk next to your title in the Tadpog wiki.
Yes, right. There's only one other thing that I really need to talk about, other than we're on Twitter. You can find us at Tadpog_podcast. It's cucumbersome. We talked about all the Facebook stuff. We do have a Patreon. If you want to kick in there, you give us $1 a week, or that would be nice.
No, don't do that.
Yeah, $1 a month, you get access to all the bonus content that we've done. I think we've got like maybe, I don't know, somewhere around 20 bonus episodes on there.
Some videos.
Yeah, we try to do them monthly.
We've got 2 things in the barrel we need to do to catch up.
Yes, absolutely. We need to do a video of us playing the Garfield board game that Shadowrunner Cody sent us.
Death Nut Challenge.
While doing the Death Nut Challenge, eating a whole bunch of spicy stuff that people have sent us. And also, we need to do our waifu pillow photo shoot.
Yep.
That's the thing that we need to do.
Yep.
So these are things we haven't forgotten about. It's just we haven't been able to organize it yet.
Yep.
So don't worry, it's going to come. I'd like to take a moment to sit right there and tell you about people who became Princes of Bel-Air by donating to us on Patreon. I would like to thank Platinum member Brett Miller for upping his donation, which I think I may have already thanked him for, but he's still flagged. And you know what? I want to err on the side of caution. Plus, he donates a shitload of money, so I feel like it's worth mentioning twice. Yeah. Thank you, Platinum member Brett Miller. Hashtag more Miller. hashtag different Miller.
Hashtag more different Miller.
More different Miller. And I'd also like to thank. I thought he was already a donor. I'd like to thank Capsaicin Czar Chris Dixon for his new donation, which is, well...
Way to trick us.
Yeah, totally tricked us. We were nice to you and everything. Who totally went above the $1 minimum. So thank you very much, Chris. And he's always hanging out like in Twitch chat and stuff like that too. So Chris is a cool dude. I think he's going to be at TADPOG Prom this year.
I think you saw that as well.
So I'm excited for that. Also, Nathan Eaton, who just recently pledged.
I recognize the name.
Has upped his donation. So he was a cool guy who totally beat me at Street Fighter 2.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He's a
skilled dude.
He is. He could easily become Street Fighter 2 training partner for me because our skill level is like pretty close.
About on par.
Yeah,
okay.
Pretty close. So yeah, but I think he edges me out. So
that's what you like.
I do like it.
All right, it's pretty good. Very good.
That's all I got.
All right.
Would you like to take calls on this 4,000 hour long podcast that we?
I would like to, but we shouldn't.
Yeah.
Let's see. How do you even close this out, Dave? Well, our theme song is Moved by Sycamore Drive. We'll that track from the show notes at TADPOG.com. How do you even close this out, Dave?
I would like to close it out as our favorite possum.
All right. So until next time. Go Capricorn. I'm just an actual possum.
Oh, you're just a real possum? I was Sparkster.
Oh, okay.
Like when he dies, he with a high-pitched synth whine. I guess I should check the volumes of everything.
Okay. Hey. I'll probably get about this loud as I start telling stories. That's what I would think. If I right here.
I'll probably get like this.
Perfect.
Probably be where I live right here.
ASMR show.
I'm gonna eat a banana. This is not sexual at all, but I'm gonna eat a banana and I'm gonna make a lot of sounds like this. It's not sexual
banana
at all. It's not.